Nick, remember when I first met you, you didn't detail quite the way we do now.
I thought I was the best detailer in the world, Yvan.
There you go. I'm Yvan.
I'm Nick.
And this is DIY Detail. Today, we have this little key in for a very, very special thing. And we wanted a small car because it's going to take him a lot of time. We're going to explore the differences between the Nick of before.
Trashed paint, trying to transform it into something beautiful. Now, my dream, and I've got compounds, and I've got polishes, and I've got sandpaper. My dream can turn into a nightmare pretty quick. Hopeful transformation, but it's by no means a guarantee. I guess you're gonna have to watch, and I hope you do. I hope you learn something, I hope you enjoy. And just maybe we can take this trash paint and give it that showroom shine. On the top of this panel, I want control.
Paper soaking in a bucket, but I've seen Jason Kilmer say you don't need to, so I just like to, I spray it off a lot, almost like it's my little pressure washer.
And the Nick of today.
I was an internet-influenced detailer.
Right.
And I was also an influencer. Look, I was trying to go after perfect paint. The reason I say that I thought I was really good is I was like, Yvan can get his profitable job done. I'll get it to like the standard I have for myself. So I don't care about how much time it takes because I'm all about quality. That's what I told myself, Yvan.
That's what he told himself. But in reality, efficiency breeds quality. And the reason we're doing this, we have 4 very special guests coming tomorrow. It's what, 8 o'clock at night right now, somewhere around there?
Yes.
We're starting this video now because he was used to pulling all-nighters, and he might have to do that tonight. I'll be out by 10. But anyways, no, I'll wait for him because his steps are a little longer and they interfere with mine, so I'll be taking breaks once in a while. That being said, the 4 people we have coming, we're going to give them the task of identifying which side is better. And can they tell a difference? They may not be able to tell a difference. They may be able to tell a difference. These are people you know and love, and you will see them at the end of the video, so stick around.
For one night only, Hawk Pro is coming back. And I'm just going to see what it feels like, what the results are like. I have a feeling I'm going to be pretty cranky after a few short hours here.
Right.
And that will, you know, there was a time when a door took me many hours.
Right.
I don't know what I was doing because I wasn't getting paid for that. And anyway,
yeah,
I'm already in my head about what I'm about to go through.
Right.
So it's going to be an emotional journey.
Right. And you know, shout out to Pan, the organizer. This was actually his idea. So for us to do this, so thanks Pan for the idea. And one of the things we're going to be doing, splitting the car down the middle. We're not putting a tape line though. Don't worry about that. There may be tape lines on Nick's side, but there'll be... I
reserve the right to tape. Don't worry about
it. He'll be taping probably. But anyways, we want to show that what we've been teaching for the last 2 years and what I've been teaching for the last 40 some years actually has its place in detailing and can save you time and still result in a high quality finish.
Let's get started because we want to polish this paint.
Yeah.
But we have to start by washing.
Right.
And I'm going to be pulling out the old stuff that I used to use. I think the perfect way to start is Yvan has everything ready. I don't. We didn't acknowledge the pads on the hood.
Yeah.
I still really want to use a pad washer. We don't even have an air compressor in here.
Yeah.
So whether I'm swapping pads or what, we don't know yet what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I reserve the right to use fresh pads, but depending on how this night goes, I may resort to the pad washer.
Right. Pad washer isn't in question here. It's efficient.
Yep.
But what we'll be doing, Nick will be doing the foaming. I'll be doing the rinseless wash. And actually, no. Let's make this more fair. I'll be foaming as well. What the heck? Foaming is fun.
Let's do it.
I'll have a bit of extra time on my hands anyways. So get rid of those pads. Let's foam it up. I've got my bucket ready to go. I just have to put the incredible suds in it. In Nick's case, I don't think he has even buckets ready. So I'll get the foamer and all that ready while you get your buckets.
All right. You know, Yvan, as you get ready, I'm trying to remember how I used to do it. And I wasn't totally ignorant. You know, I think I had enough common sense to put the water in before the soap.
Yeah, yeah.
But there were probably times where I put a little bit of soap in, even though it said to use an ounce. I was going to use a little bit more. And then I foamed after it. I'm sure I did it. It's not because I didn't know better, Yvan. It's just, I literally had no system.
Yeah, you wanted to see the bubbles.
I wanted to see the bubbles. I wanted to go by feel. I'm still a feel guy, you know.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the feeling of creating all these suds, even though literally a capful in here will be amazing.
Yeah,
And, you know, using excess product can be fun.
it is.
And if you don't realize that the excess product is actually causing you issues, you don't change your ways.
No. Now, do we need a t-shirt that says Glug Glug McGurk? If you think so, put it in the comments.
I don't know about that. But, you know, I'm open to anything. I'm enjoying it so far.
Don't forget your wheel bucket, Nick.
I need a wheel bucket too.
While Nick is getting his wheel bucket ready, I'll help him out by foaming the whole car, both sides. Nick, I remember redoing your shop once, and I don't remember seeing any bucket dollies there.
No, the bucket dollies are nice. I enjoy these a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. All right.
Yeah, you got it. You figured it out now.
Hey, do I put my clay bar in my wash bucket? That's what I can't remember if I used to do or not. I haven't used a clay bar in ages, Ivan.
You're gonna have to go back to your old videos and find out.
All right.
Putting a little extra foam on Nick's side just because.
Ivan, I'm sure there were times that I foamed, but I also can't remember how I did it. It was like I would just, I don't know, I would probably foam first and then pressure wash. But I think at this point, I'd probably hit the wheels.
Okay, well, I'm gonna rinse my side off and foam it again, so.
Go ahead. We'll keep it fair for now.
Okay.
We'll do the foam, rinse, foam, and then may the best man win.
Yeah. It's not the best man winning, it's just different ways of doing it. Actually, I'll rinse my side off first since I foamed my side first. We'll let the foam sit a little longer on Nick's side. Ready for the second foaming?
Let's do it.
While Nick continues to squeegee, that's because our shop is inefficient, unfortunately. Our floor is has patina to it, and part of that patina is not being level and
true.
not going to the drain. So, let me foam it again, Nick.
Okay.
Again, I laid the foam on a little thick on Nick's side.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Now, I never did the 2-bucket method, Ivan, but that would be another, that would be another way to demonstrate, you know, possibly the way a lot of people are doing it out there.
Right.
Folks, you may know us and our whole, you know, our back and forth of efficiency versus, you know, whatever it is that I do. But Ivan, why is it that we don't teach the 2-bucket method for folks who may be new to the channel?
Simply for safety. So the foam rinse foam is actually safer than using 2 buckets. That's why we prefer that. The way most people do the 2-bucket method is to spray the, foam the car and immediately go on with a wash mitt. And that's just simply not the best thing for your paint.
So as I kind of willy-nilly this side, I'm thinking the way that I used to think, which is if I'm going to do a deep, you know, multiple stage, probably sanding a little bit, compounding, polishing, my wash technique isn't as important because I'm going to be polishing all these surfaces anyway. Ivan, what say you to that thought process of mine?
It's like building a home. If your foundation is solid, square, level, and plumb, the rest of the house is so much easier to put together. If you're starting off with a crooked foundation, well, the rest sort of follows along.
I think in my head, like I'm sneaking ahead of you somehow, like I'm washing the car while you squeegee, but I'm gaining seconds, and this is a long game, Ivan.
I'm taking my time, actually.
Okay, so thought process here is I foamed the car down. There's some lubrication there, sure, but I'm going to take some iron remover. It's time to go to Wheeltown, USA here. So I'm going to douse these rims. By the way, I don't know if we've seen these rims, but they are pretty nasty. So I think this is going to be quite the wheel operation, Ivan. You have all clean there. I'm not sure I would have used it. Maybe in the moment if I felt like it, but otherwise, I'm just going to go with what I've got. I've got some soap on there. I'm going to try some iron remover. I'm going to play using Russian roulette with these wheels, see what happens.
I'm using iron remover as well, but 4 or 5 sprays. Maybe 6. There we go.
I feel like these barrels are nasty. And you could tell, I mean, look at how bad these are. So we're getting similar results so far. All right. Lucky for me, our Incredible Suds does clean exceptionally well, Ivan, even on wheels. But it's no all clean, is it?
No. And the one thing that the All Clean is doing is helping the iron remover to emulsify that dirt. Now I have Incredible Suds on the wheels as well. Now, when our 4 inspectors come, one thing that we'll be telling them is they're inspecting it not as detailers, but as car owners. Regular, everyday car owners, meaning that they're not getting out inspection lights, they're not going within an inch of the car to inspect it. They're just, a 2 to 3 foot walk around like every good car owner would do.
I know the Magic Eraser is basically sandpaper, right? But on kind of these cheaper looking rims, there's all this kind of like gold pitting, kind of rust looking stuff down here. I'll actually take a Magic Eraser. Again, this is Old Nick. Maybe a little iron remover. And if I'm struggling in those first passes to get it, essentially I'm kind of sanding the rim faces here, okay? So like I know what I'm doing. But a lot of that, if you can see how white that is just going to save me a little bit of time. And it's going to tell me how far I can go. If it's not moving, okay, great, right? Because again, I'm kind of sanding the faces of these wheels, which is a more abrasive step than I would normally teach a DIY detail, but kind of how I used to do it, right? So you can see the time I'm taking, the danger involved in kind of messing with the face of this wheel. But it doesn't take that long. I might just kind of do this, just around these areas that I feel like are kind of gold. Like right into here is incredibly like golden dark, and maybe just rubbing it with a towel would work. But it's right into there, and kind kind of see right into there. I'll just see what I can get with the magic eraser. And not miracle working here by any means, but making some progress. The whole idea being nasty rims, do what I can, try to be a little bit more of a hero than I'm probably getting paid for, and introducing a little bit of risk. I've only done one wheel, Ivan, and I'm already getting tired.
It's not exactly cool in the shop today.
I'm just reminded of how much work I used to put in for some reason. I mean, it's for the love of the game. And you know what? After using that magic eraser on these wheels, I've got to use all clean, Ivan. And the reason I'm using all clean just on the tires, there's one thing I used to do a lot of, and I kind of forgot about it until just now, is I like to scrub the tire until all the browning comes out, Ivan.
Right, just long enough so you're actually damaging the tire.
All right, so explain that.
So if you're removing all the browning on a tire, you're actually doing damage to it, because that browning is actually something that's supposed to be in the tire. And in all my efficiency, I don't have anything to wash with in my wash bucket.
There you go. You're a human. Actually, I'm not seeing a lot of browning on these, Ivan.
In that case, you're good.
But I had to try it.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people do that, and they keep scrubbing until all that browning is gone. While that may seem like a good thing, you're actually damaging the tire. That browning is built into the tire. It's a product that's in there to prevent oxidation. And that oxidation shows up as the browning that we see. The tire dressing is what takes care of the browning. You should be cleaning the tire to get it clean. But other than that, there's still a little browning. Don't go crazy.
Ivan, it just took one wheel without using all clean for me to want to use all clean again.
Yeah.
Just full stop. They were nasty. I didn't use everything at my disposal. I'm going to let that all clean foam and squeegee a little bit and come back to it.
Yep. So you'll notice that I let the soap sort of hang out on the car before doing the contact wash. That's to give it a little more chance to work while I did the wheels. To make sure that we have a nice clean surface.
Okay, wheel dollies are legit, Ivan. Dragging this bucket is for the birds.
Yeah. Now, another thing, people think going faster will make them faster. Trying to go fast actually slows you down because you miss spots. You do things that you shouldn't do. You're in a rush. You're stressed. Take your time. Enjoy the process. Have fun with it.
I'm going to leverage my brushes a little more this time, Ivan, because I was a little rushed on that first wheel, and the faces of these wheels were so brown. I'm gonna say no to the magic eraser, at least for now, and I'm gonna really leverage this barrel brush. And a lot of what I did was almost for me. Like, I don't think this car owner would ever have noticed kind of that marooning right in the corners of the wheel, the rims and everything. But who knows, Ivan? Who knows?
Some would, most wouldn't. Now this is where our process is going to really start to differentiate itself. I'm going to be using perforated synthetic decontamination towel and our iron remover. Now, Nick has admitted many times that he actually enjoys the fragrance of our iron remover. And if you haven't tried our iron remover in the last 3 months, the new one has a lot less fragrance to it. Nick actually prefers the old one because it smelled more, but I prefer to have less of this smell in the room.
If it smells more, it's got to be better.
Right.
Is the way I think about it.
Now, Nick, his propensity for being trigger happy sort of stems from using iron remover.
Is that so?
Because the way he uses iron remover, or he used to use iron remover, let's just say this half bottle wouldn't be enough.
Ivan, let's talk about actual like clay lubes versus iron remover, because I found you pretty early on.
Yeah.
And you convinced me to use iron remover as a clay lube.
Right.
So in this video, we've talked about me using a dedicated clay lube versus iron remover as a clay lube, and I'm happy to do it either way.
Well,
Are a lot of people still using clay lubes, like dedicated clay lubes?
either they're using dedicated clay lubes or they're just using their soap. Now, with a clay bar, you're going to have to polish afterwards. You're going to be marring the paint a little bit. So the lubrication in that case is not quite as important because you have abrasives there. And those abrasives are what is going to make the difference.
So I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to do what I would do
Back in the day.
back in the day. I'm going to grab my clay bar. You probably cut yours up at home. I got a fresh clay bar. Here we go. I haven't used one of these in so long. Here's my rinseless wash. 16 ounce. I'm just gonna put a bottle, Ivan, in the wash bucket. But it's like a fish out of water, Ivan.
Well, you've been doing it, you know, the DIY way for the last 2 years. And even before that, as we're progressing through the R&D process, so.
I actually don't mind spraying on Incredible Suds. Just taking a little sprayer into my bucket. Doesn't feel too bad. Doesn't feel too bad. Okay, I gotta say there is something incredibly rewarding about a clay bar.
There is.
Because I know when I take this off this paint, it's gonna look like something. I don't know how bad. I mean, I can feel it under my bar.
And that's a mild clay bar. That's not an aggressive clay bar that we've got there, so.
Oh, there's nothing on there. Maybe it's not too bad in here. How's the paint feeling to you?
Let's wait till you get to the roof.
Okay. You know, I don't hate it yet. First panel. Can you feel the use and abuse that I'm putting my my trigger finger under? I would always want the lube, right? You always want lubrication when you're claying, so. I haven't even used iron remover yet. What am I thinking?
It's because you can't use iron remover with the clay bar.
Oh, yeah. It's not allowed.
Well, it's not that it's allowed. Most iron removers will actually degrade a clay bar, including ours.
Oh, okay. That's why I'm not using iron remover. So maybe I'll do a surface clay, and then I'll spray on a lot of iron remover after. That sounds like something I would have done.
That's definitely something you would have done. There's probably a video on the Hawk Pro detailing channel where you did just that, or more than one video.
Oh man, I'm getting tired. Clay bars. Clay bars are not easy on the old body and the shoulder.
So on my side of the world, it's clayed, it's decontaminated. I just have to rinse it off, and I'm ready for the water spot remover.
Like, I'm legit tired, Ivan. This is a different way of doing it.
Yep.
Trust the guy who's been doing this for a while. It's all about the long game.
If you don't mind, I'll just rinse down my side
Not at all.
so I can continue.
Something I'm discovering in real time, Ivan, I actually like spraying Incredible Suds as like a top up. As I'm spending so much time on the wheels that everything dries on me.
Yeah.
I like it.
So Nick, have you all done the side or?
I'm just in the trunk here, and it is feeling pretty gritty under my, I was gonna say decon towel, I'm so used to that, under my clay bar.
Yeah, it was rather gritty.
I can't wait to show the people what I've pulled off this car, Ivan. Lots of lube, lots of movement, shoulders tired, young man's game. Detailing's for young kids, Ivan, doing it this way. Surely this is not something that I could sustain.
A lot of people do. But as you get older, you work smarter, not harder.
My brow is sweaty and my clay bar is dirty. There was a lot to contend with here. I just used my rinseless wash label. I just put that on a 16-ounce bottle. But just dunked it in. Used iron remover, not at all. So I guess now is probably the time I would spray iron remover on. Just to, you know, don't question my method, Ivan. Don't question my method.
You're giving your iron remover sort of a fighting chance because you let the vehicle dry a little bit.
Okay, and why is that?
Well, less water intervening.
Okay.
And you removed most of the contamination first with the clay bar. A lot of people, you know, when clay bar started to be popular and iron remover started to be popular, what people would do is iron remove the car, then do the clay bar.
That's an interesting way.
So I'm using our water spot remover to remove mineral contamination from the surface.
So you're way ahead of me then.
Well, you can say that's a step I'm going to skip. No one does that.
Ivan, I don't feel like I need to do that step.
Well, a lot of people do not do that step, and that's up to them. But the results speak for themselves.
I actually kind of liked doing water spot remover or mineral deposit remover before I polished, but I felt like in my shop people thought that was kind of overkill.
Well, I don't think I ever saw you with a bottle of water spot remover on paint, Nick.
Well, I was the kind of master of overthinking things, so I was like, I need to do 18 steps before I do anything else. And like one thing I do is I would panel prep the car before I started polishing, and you don't teach that method at all.
No.
I'm continuing to use iron remover as lube here, trying to pick up anything I might have missed.
Okay, which is not a good thing. Remember what we said about the clay bar and the iron remover?
Yeah, but I figured someone out there has probably tried it, so
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that the panel's nice and lubed up here. Oh boy. Oh boy. I can feel the clay bar disintegrating on me.
So leaving traces on the paint.
Yep. To contend with later. That's why I use panel prep, Ivan.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Do another step because you did another step.
In my head, it makes sense. It's interesting. I mean, it's not like you could just clay the paint forever. I mean, the decon towel gets to most of anything you'd ever need. Why would you ever want a clay bar, Ivan? Like, what would this level of service be to a client or to the person at home? Because I mean, I know what I'm doing. Obviously, like, I don't need this last clay, but
Right.
I would have done something like this. If someone was like, I want the best, you know, yeah.
Yeah, you would have 100% done that. So
I think I'm going for 100%, Ivan. That's what it's unrealistic.
yeah. So while Nick is continuing with the clay bar, I'll rinse off the water spot remover and I'll be ready to dry it. Now, many people have said that our water spot remover contains something that causes beading. Well, we can see it just starting on this car, but it's nowhere near beading. This is a paint that really is flat. Oh, Nick, you're ready to rinse.
I'm ready to rinse, but you know, in the spirit of Hawk Pro, it's like whatever you have in front of you, you just grab.
Oh, okay. Well,
Are you ready to rinse for me?
well, no, I'll let you rinse, but
Okay.
I just have the hatch to do on my side.
Okay.
In the spirit of having less humidity in the air,
You go ahead and rinse.
yeah.
All right.
No, I mean, use
I'll
the
rinse.
pressure washer.
Okay. Yep.
Pressure washer, let's just say, puts out a little less water than that hose. In the meantime, I'll squeegee.
Look how red the ground is. This is from the iron remover.
Right. We have red on both sides, but not quite as much on my side because we removed a lot of it using the decontamination towel.
And with me, what?
You're flooding it.
It makes sense. You know what I'm noticing, Ivan? I'm having to work a lot harder in the rinse off because I have so much iron remover on the paint that I feel like it's just super sudsy.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That and how much incredible suds did you spray on the paint while you were playing?
Oh yeah, I did a lot, didn't I?
Yeah.
Interesting, okay. Touche. So the extra suds I saw, which we now have to clean up, and I apologize, partially due to a lot of iron remover, Ivan.
Yeah.
Partially because I went ham with the incredible suds. Okay. And I'm witnessing how much work that's causing you and us in real time. Ivan, I appreciate your diligence, your hard work.
Yes, sir.
You're evening up the playing field as I quickly could be lapped by you, and I appreciate that. So,
Well, one thing, look at my side, Nick, and look at yours. What difference do you see?
looks wet. Mine looks way sudsier. Like, I see a lot more soap on the ground.
Well, not only that, look at the car. I did our water spot remover, which did a mineral cleanse.
Oh.
You didn't. My drying is going to be a lot easier than yours.
Yes, yours is already kind of self-drying. So, Hawk Pro Nick, panel prep on the panel, which we never recommend. And I would use this as a drying aid before polishing, because in my head, Ivan, I want to see what the paint looks like. I want to see it laid bare. I want to know, what am I contending with with my inspection light?
Yeah.
But please don't spray panel prep on the panel. I'm just saying that's the way I used to do it with a different product, and it was more of a, I don't know. It was meticulous, but also trying to work fast. I'll just spray it on the towel. Don't try this at home, folks. Unless you want to live on the edge.
Well, and there's a lot of people that do it that way. So, you know, you weren't alone. You didn't learn this from a magician. You learned it from the internet. You watched YouTube. And there's a lot of different ways to detail a car. And we're not saying that either one of these ways is right or wrong. There's just different ways.
So what do you think about this method of using panel prep as my drying aid before polishing so I can see what's on my paint?
I can see what's on the paint beautifully here because I decontaminated it. There's nothing left on the paint.
Okay.
And nothing we've used so far has any sort of fillers.
Okay, Ivan, through my panel prep
Yeah.
and my squeaky clean paint, we've got some issues here to address. And
Yeah.
that's to be expected on a car like this.
There's issues on
Years old.
Yeah, issues on both sides. It's pretty even in terms of scratching and all that. Our drain in the shop is a little slow. Tonight, because of Nick's, overindulgence, we now have Lake Nick. I think we're going to take a break and make this into a 2-video series because let's just say the techniques that Nick are using are not as efficient as we're used to seeing around here, and it's taking a lot longer than expected. So we'll see you in the next.
All right, guys, so I'm having a lot of fun with this clay bar. It's not coming out. It's hot in the shop. I'm sweating. I'm wishing I had a decontamination towel, but that's okay because we're having fun with the clay bar. Use a clay bar, they said. It'll be fun. They said, I just dropped it. That's gone. I've dropped my clay bar.
You probably did it on purpose too, because you want to use the towel.
All right, in the wash bucket. I don't know what I'm doing here, but it feels normal to me to not know and to embrace the flow.
You might want to watch this video right here.